You ever hear people say, the house always wins? That used to scare me. I mean, if that's true, why even play? But I figured something out, something most people overlook. It wasn't a cheat code, not exactly. I didn't card count. I didn't hack machines. I just understood the system. And once I did, the money started flowing. Not immediately, but enough to change my life, enough to make me rich. Let me take you back. I was broke. Not just, I can't go out this weekend. Broke. I mean, digging through the couch for change broke. Living off instant noodles and dollar menu coffee. The kind of broke where every breath feels like a weight pressing down on your chest. I had a part-time job at a gas station off I-95. It was dead most nights. So I'd read, mostly books on psychology, probability, game theory. I don't know. Why? Maybe I wanted to feel smart while my life was falling apart. One night, this guy walked in. Mid-50s, tailored coat, slick hair, smelled like expensive cologne. He dropped $100 on gas, cash, and then, out of nowhere, tipped me $20. Invest in something that can't be rigged, he said, and winked. Then he left. I don't know what it was about that night, but that one line stuck with me. Something that can't be rigged. I didn't sleep. I sat in my crappy one-bedroom apartment and Googled everything I could about casinos, gambling systems, the math behind house edge. That night turned into weeks. Casinos are temples of controlled chaos. Everything, from the carpet to the lighting to the free drinks is designed to keep you playing, to make you feel lucky. But the truth is, they don't care if you win. They care if you play. That's when it clicked. The house doesn't win by cheating. It wins by playing the long game. Most people lose because they don't understand the game, the literal one and the psychological one. But here's where things get interesting. Some games, like slots, you have zero control. But others, like poker and blackjack, there's a margin, tiny but real, where skill and psychology play a role. I wasn't aiming to beat the house. I was aiming to become part of the house without owning one. I took $500, everything I had, and went to a smaller casino just outside Atlantic City. I picked a low-stakes blackjack table, didn't drink, didn't smile, just watched. That night, I didn't play at all. I just sat and observed. Who tilted easily, who played loose, which dealers were distracted, who got up too early or stayed too long. It was like watching human code, patterns, emotions, habits. By week 3, I'd memorized basic blackjack strategy cold. I wasn't counting cards like in the movies. That's illegal. But card tracking, estimating remaining high-value cards based on known probabilities, that's not illegal. The key? Betting bigger only when the odds were in my favor. Small wins, slow grind, emotionless, robotic. Within 3 months, I'd turned my $500 into $7,200. But that was just the start. Here's what they don't tell you. Casinos don't care if you win a little. They only care if you win consistently. So I made sure to lose, on purpose, just enough to stay under the radar. I'd bet small. Lose a few hands, laugh, complain, then hit a few big wins, smile, tip the dealers well. They remembered me, but as the nice guy who got lucky sometimes. Meanwhile, I moved from table games to poker rooms. That's where the real money lives. Because now you're not playing against the house. You're playing against other people, and most of them suck. I made friends with a few regulars, got into private games. I learned to read people like books. Nervous tics, breathing patterns, eye movements, bluff frequency. Everything meant something. I wasn't always the best player, but I was always the least emotional one. By year 2, I had over $200,000 in cash. I realized early on that the moment casinos knew I was exploiting their system, the game would be over. So I kept my profile low. I drove a beat-up Honda, wore regular clothes, lived in a cheap apartment even when I could afford a penthouse. All cash, no credit, no paper trail, and I never stayed at the same casino more than a few weeks. I rotated, AC, Vegas, smaller tribal casinos. I even flew to Europe once and tried my hand in Monaco. That one was rough, but I still came out ahead. The moment someone got suspicious, I walked. No questions. No pride. Just gone. So, how did I get rich? Not by gambling, by investing. Once I had enough capital, I started using my earnings to buy into tech startups. Crypto early and out early. Real estate. I even backed a friend's VR company that later got acquired. I made my real money once I stopped playing completely, because here's the truth. The casino doesn't care who wins. It cares who stays. I figured out how to leave with more than... I came in with not every time but enough times, and then I stopped playing altogether. That's the final rule. Know when to quit. Now I live in a quiet coastal town. No mansion, no Lambos, just peace, and a number in my bank account that lets me sleep easy every night. People ask me sometimes if I miss the thrill. If I'd ever go back. I don't need to. Because the best move I ever made was realizing the casino wasn't the enemy. My own greed was.